and welcome to the UTSA Student Success Center. We are now ready to begin talking a little bit about counseling tips and resources that we have in place for you. With that, Ms. Renee.
Good morning, everyone. Today I'd like to talk about common stress responses, how to cope, and a little bit about self-care. So let's go ahead and just jump right into some of the stress responses that you yourself might be experiencing during this time. So maybe perhaps you're feeling sadness, you might be feeling powerless, you may be feeling extreme worry. What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to my education? You could be in disbelief or in shock. If we move further, perhaps you might be having dreams or reoccurring thoughts about it. Maybe you're crying for no apparent reason. You may be having difficulty falling asleep or remaining asleep. All of these responses are normal. All of these responses are normal, and all of us may be experiencing some of these responses. What I want for you to understand is that when we are stressed, it can affect our immune systems. The stress hormone actually can suppress the effectiveness of your immune system. So let's talk a little bit about how to cope. So if you smoke, let's say you smoke or you drink coffee, soda, anything that contains caffeine, I would suggest that maybe you might want to look at cutting back a little bit on that because those are stimulants. Limit your exposure to social media. Social media can be very negative right now. Even watching the news can be negative as well. Talking about it with someone in moderation can actually help alleviate stress. You not only alleviate your own stress, but you can help another person alleviate their stress. And helping others during this time is another way to relieve your own stress, to feel that you have a purpose during this time can help alleviate stress. But most of all, I'd like for you to cultivate a self-compassion. Be kind to yourself during this time. Don't punish yourself for what's happening during this time. So let's look at some self-care strategies that we could have during this time as well. We'll be sending a 50 ways to take a break, which does give a lot of wonderful things that you can do during this time. I definitely want to mention to avoid any type of, we've mentioned stimulants, so I want to carry that a step further and say avoid drugs and excessive drinking during this time. I would say avoid emotional eating during this time. All of these things are just really a temporary fix for how you might be feeling. You could structure your day where you might have some indoor activity that you're enjoying, like yoga or meditation. Now is the time to develop that routine. Maybe you've always wanted to learn how to do yoga and you just felt like you never had time. Make that time now, because you're going to want to balance your mind and your body so that you can move forward in a positive way throughout the rest of the semester. Finally, I'd ask you to stay hopeful and optimistic, and we are going to move in a positive way through the rest of the semester. Dr. Guerra has some useful resources for you.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Renee. What I'd like to do is mention that there are some resources and offices that are open during this period of time on the UTSA campus. For example, if you are an international student, the UTSA Housing and Residence Life is open and those offices are available. The Student Health Services office is available, as well as counseling and mental health services. And their telephone number is 210-458-4140. We also have the UTSA Dining and Library available and open to you, as well as the Student Disability Services and the Roadrunner Pantry. So with that in mind, I'd want to remind you of some numbers and resources additional that you might want to keep in mind. For example, for any updates in terms of the coronavirus, you can always email coronavirus, coronavirus, at utsa.edu. Again, it's coronavirus@utsa.edu for the latest information. Again, the UTSA Counseling and Mental Health number is 210-458-4140. And lastly, please don't hesitate in checking in with us at coehd.undergraduate@utsa.edu. We are here and we want to stay in touch. Stay in touch with us. Thanks, and we'll talk to you soon.